Hello my dears and welcome back to my channel. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Pamela and I put out beauty related videos sometimes. Yeah, sometimes. So today's video is going to be on some of my favorite ShopMissA products. If you are unfamiliar with ShopMissA, shame on you. ShopMissA is one of those websites where they sell pretty much anything and everything for like $1. I do want to say that there are some products on their website that are a little bit more than $1, but that is because they are also part of a charity program. Some of the ShopMissA products have like, I think like an 80-ish cents upcharge, only because that additional, 80 cents or whatever is going to go towards a charity program, which I totally like. I think that that's amazing. It makes me think that every brand is capable of doing it. And I mean, how do you explain a website that charges $1 for all of these items and still is able to donate to charity with it? Like, that just blows my mind, and it definitely makes me want to continue to purchase from them. I'm cheap. As I am very frugal when it comes to makeup, as most of you may know. I like a lot of affordable makeup. I don't think that you need a high price tag item in order to, come up with a beautiful look. A lot of the products I'm wearing on my face obviously are from ShopMissA because I wanted to demo them for you and show you how beautiful they look on the skin. And they're only $1, so you can't go wrong with that. You just really can't. With that being said, I do have two products that I have tried so far that have just been a total miss for me, and I also wanted to share with you guys as well. So I don't have any more babbling, so let's just get right into this. Yes. So the first things I want to start out with are the tools that I've been using from ShopMissA. I use these just about every single day. They have really, really good high quality brushes in my opinion for the price, and let's remember that everything on this website is $1, so keep that in mind as I'm talking about these brushes. So the first set of brushes I want to mention are these two. These actually come in a set, and so they are priced at $2. Unfortunately, you cannot get them separate, which kind of a bummer sometimes, because I really wish that I could pick up another one of these and not have to have an additional one of these. I actually have two of these already because the first set that I ordered, this brush ended up shedding all over me. With that being said, this particular model brush or whatever was the only one out of all of the ones that I've owned to ever shed on me, which I think is pretty damn good considering, again, these are only $1. Quality is nice. They blend out. This one in particular blends out any stick foundation I own beautifully. It also blends, cream contour or cream blushes really nicely, or any sort of cream products. I've noticed that it does a really, really nice job at blending it out. Now this other one, did I mention what these were? Oh God, I'm so bad at this sometimes. So this is the F4 and this one is the E104. Again, they come in a set. I'll have everything linked down below just in case I miss something because I'm so unorganized with these types of things. But this one I really, really like to blend out my concealer. If I don't go in with the sponge, I'll go in with this one. It's also really, really good to get into those like little corners or like around my nose like I show in the demo. I usually like to go with this one either before or after I use the sponge. It doesn't really matter. I guess it just depends on how I'm feeling, but either this or the sponge I really, really like to blend out my concealer, or even just to do a little bit of spot concealing. Like I mentioned before, I did own another one of these previously, but it did shed on me. The bristles completely like broke apart. The whole thing came like undone or whatever. But out of all of the brushes, it's the only one that's ever broken apart on me or whatever. And this one still holding up strong. I've had these ones for a few months. I've washed them multiple times and they're still doing really, really well. So I think that was just kind of like a fluke or whatever. Like it was just one of those things where that particular brush just wasn't built right, because I haven't had any shedding with any of the other brushes that I've used in the past like 6 months or whatever. So I think that's a pretty good deal, pretty good win-win. $2, 2 brushes. That's pretty good. The next one is my highlighting brush, and this one I believe is almost always out of stock, so I can't tell you if it's in stock or not, but it is probably one of the best brushes I have purchased from ShopMissA. And if you take anything from this video today, is that this brush is the best brush I've ever used for highlighter. This is the F19, and this does come like a single brush or whatever, and it's a super duper like long brush. As you can see, it's like the tallest brush I own, and this applies highlighter beautifully. Kind of reminds me of the Anastasia like brush that's very, very popular for highlighting. It has that similar style. It's very, very nice on the skin. There's still highlighter left in that. Can you see that? Oh, beautiful. It's absolutely my favorite ShopMissA brush. I've considered purchasing maybe like 1 or 2 more. Maybe next time they have like that $1 shipping, I'll pick up another 1 or 2 of these because this is such a good brush. Like, totally recommend it 100%. And like I said, if you take anything from this video today, like, this is the best thing out of my entire like ShopMissA stash here, so keep that in mind. Moving on, I've got a couple sponges. This is obviously used. I just used this right now. This is their Mochi sponge. Let me see if I can find the wrapper for this. Okay, here it is. So this is the Wonder Blender, the A+ edition, which means that this was a little bit more than $1. It was like $1 and some change. And the remainder, here it is, $1.88. It's on the packaging. I gotta pay attention to things. But it's $1.88, and the 88 cents go towards this A+ charity, which, you know, it states back here that says, we believe every child deserves a bright future. A portion of the proceeds from the A+ edition products will go to local and international charities that support children education, from school supplies to building schools and so on. So you gotta love that, you know, like, not only is this sponge less than $2, but a part of the proceeds are going to a charity. Whether it's for charity or not, this sponge is absolutely amazing. Like, I've tried the original one, which I've got right here, and both of these are insanely good sponges. Like, I don't think I ever need to purchase any other sponges because these are just so good. They grow like 3 times the size. Like, I don't want to open this one because I want to keep it clean, but as you can see, it's pretty small, and this one starts out as about the same size as this one, and I love this like sponge. I like the angle of this one. It did take some time for me to get used to it because I prefer like a traditional teardrop shape, especially to get like under the eyes. I used it this way today, and I gotta say, the way that it blended out my concealer was pretty flawless. I love everything about it. It doesn't soak up too much product. As you could see, it still looks a little bit on the light side. Didn't look like it soaked up a lot of my product at all, and it definitely like feels squishy and nice like on the skin, you know. You can't go wrong with these, and on top of that, these are one of the only sponges that clean so well. Like, I will just take a bar of soap and like run my sponge across the bar of soap and like, you know, massage it into it, and it will literally look like a brand new sponge. Like, it is insane. The one that I had previous to these two that I've got in front of me, I had for months, you guys, and I know that sounds nasty to have a sponge for that long, but it just washed so well, and it was just so strong, and it never broke apart or anything like that, that I was just pleasantly surprised as to how long I was able to use that sponge. So I just recently picked these up because I thought it was time for a new sponge, but honestly, my old one could have like continued to go. Like, it could have gone for like another few months or so. So I absolutely love these. If you've never tried the ShopMissA sponges, I totally recommend those. Truly are a good quality sponge with a cheap price tag, you know, like, they're not cheaply made. If, you know, don't get that twisted or whatever, but you will not regret the sponges or the tools. Moving on, I've got some of these brushes. These are also a Paw Paw charity collection. This is their eye set, and this is such a cute little pink eye brush set. As you can see, I love these. Every single one of them is dirty, and each one of them gets used just about every single day. I love this collection for a couple of reasons. I loved that it came with a carrying case, or like a travel case or whatever. I can't for the life of me find the top for this, but it's just one of those standard little cases or whatever. I also loved all of the blending brushes that it came with, because you can never have too many blending brushes. I love that it came with this many blending brushes in all different shapes and sizes and styles. Like, every single one is very, very different, and as you could see, I love all of them. And then I also loved that it came with a really, really tiny pencil brush that works beautifully in the inner corner, and then a brow brush, which is traditional. I use this one to carve my eyebrows out. The only one that I didn't really care for was this one, because I thought this would be a wonderful packing brush. However, it doesn't work really well for that, but it does work really well to carve out my eyebrows. Sometimes I do use this brush to do that as well. But other than that, this is a fantastic set. I believe it was $10.88. Again, I'll have everything linked down below in case I've got the prices wrong. It's basically like $1 per brush. You do you get the carrying case for free. And then the additional 88 cents again goes towards animal charities. So you can't go wrong with it. Like, you seriously cannot go wrong with this brand, especially when you're purchasing stuff that just is going back to charity or whatever. Like, it's just such a win-win, like, for everyone. It's a win-win for everyone. Okay, so moving on. I do have some makeup products that I want to talk about, and I don't have too much makeup from ShopMissA because, like I said, I've been slowly but surely like dabbing into their makeup. The first couple of items that I purchased were such a miss for me. I was like hesitant after that. I do want to mention the two that I don't like first, and there were the two that I first purchased. So the first one being the AOA Studio Wonder Brow Tinted Brow Pomade. I'd never used a pomade before, always just been like a powder or pencil kind of girl, so I figured I'd give it a shot. This is really, really dry. I don't know if they're meant to be super dry, but this just feels like a melted down wax product with a little bit of tint in it, and it just is so clumpy and chunky. I just don't like it for my brows. I prefer my pencils over everything, so I wouldn't really recommend this at all. Even if you're just trying to, you know, use a pomade at first, like, I would probably just buy something with better reviews and whatnot, because this just didn't quite work out for me. And the other product that I really, really wanted to like but was just a complete fail is one of these AOA Studio Velour highlighters. This is like a cream highlighter, and it kind of feels like a Super Shock shadow, just a little bit creamier, and I loved the shade. Like, do you see how beautiful that is? I love the shade. I loved the undertone. The only thing is it has giant chunks of glitter, and you could see the glitter like in it. I don't know if you'll be able to tell on camera. It does look really pretty on camera. Like I said, the color is amazing. Like, I love the shade of this, but there's just so many little teeny tiny flecks of like glitter, like big glitter, that I'm not a fan of. Like, I don't really like glittery anything, to be honest. So those two are the only two that I've tried so far that I just didn't like. But I do have other products from ShopMissA that I really, really do enjoy. So for the products that I do enjoy, I only have 4 at the moment, but it just makes me want to like purchase some more in the future because they're just so good. Since we are talking about highlighters, I want to mention the two that I really, really do like. The first one being the AOA Studio Wonder, what is this, baked highlighter. This is in the shade Snap, and this is just one of these like traditional baked highlighters, and it is gorgeous. It kind of reminds me of the Essence Pure Nude highlighter, where it's going to be, oh my god, look at how beautiful that is, where it's going to be pretty reflective if you build it up or if you know, wet your brush or whatever. I personally like it when it's just blended out. It looks like a natural sheen on the skin. Compared to the Essence highlighter, it's just a tad bit smaller. It's about half the size of one of these, but you know what? That's not a big deal because we really don't go through highlighters that fast, so I think this is a pretty decent amount of product considering it's only $1. And it is just slightly smaller in size than one of the Wet n Wild ones. Like the Wet n Wild, for example, has 5.4 grams, and this one has 4, and then this one has 8. So I think it's still a pretty good size considering, again, it's only $1. So I'm overall just so pleased with this, and as you could see in my demo, it just looks so nice on the skin. Like, it just sits beautifully. There's no glitter in this one at all. It definitely blends out to look more of like a natural like sheen on the face. Like, I've got it on my forehead, and as you could see, like when I turn and the light hits it, it just looks like I'm glowing and dewy. Not like one of those highlights that you could see from space or anything crazy like that. It just looks beautiful on the skin, and I'm overall so impressed with the formula. And it's not one of those like e.l.f. highlighters where you have to scrape the top, even though I did read a couple reviews for this particular one where people were scraping the top. I felt like I didn't need to do that. I liked the intensity that it had, making your skin just look like a beautiful glow from within. So love that one. I actually plan on picking up a couple more colors in that particular formula because it's just so good. Like, it's so good for $1. The other one I have is one of those that if you'd like to highlight from space, this is your guy. Now, I didn't like this one when I first bought it because I did notice that this had like larger particles of glitter in it. However, I made it work. I am wearing this on the very tops of my cheeks today, and as you could see in the demo, I do layer these highlighters. You know, I start with this one and then I put this one on top of it. The key for this one I found is that you spray your brush and then you swirl it into the cap. I noticed that it melts down down the product just a little bit more and it doesn't look as like glittery, and it definitely melts into the skin. Like you could see that I don't really have like giant chunks of glitter on my face right now. Everything is just melted into my skin beautifully, and it gives me an extra like, you know, it gives me an extra pop. So I love it. I have this one in the shade Nebula. This is the most perfect like undertone for me because you can't see the highlighter when I'm staring straight into the camera. However, once it catches the light, it's like bam, like right there. It just looks so stunning. Like I absolutely love these two together or separate. Like it doesn't matter. If you're looking for a cheap highlighter that's gonna be really, really good, you know, these will be perfect for you. I did kind of like hate the size of this at first because I thought, dang, this is so small. However, if you compare it to one of those like giant Wet n Wild like loose highlighters, I kind of rather prefer a smaller size because again, it'll take me forever to use this. I only use the tiniest bit into the cap and, you know, put it onto my face. It's not like I need a giant container of it or anything like that. So for $1 and for how nice this like loose highlighter is, I think that this would be perfect. Like, totally love if more companies adopted this size because I think that this is enough highlighter, you know, like especially when it comes to like a loose highlighter. I'm not gonna purchase any more giant highlighters ever again. I think that this is like the right size for that. I've got one blush that I want to talk about. This is one of the, everything is AOA by the way. Did I mention that? I don't think I did. This is the AOA Perfect Blush in the shade Dandy. It's like a beautiful peachy like pink color. Obviously it's what I've got on my cheeks right now. It is such a nice blush. I will say that it doesn't last as long as I would like it to, but not very many blushes do, whether they're $1 or $5 or whatever. It is very, very pretty. You can barely see it on my hand because my hands are tanner than my face, but I do love the way that it looks on my cheeks. It gives me like that natural like peachy pink like flush without looking too like clownish or whatever. I also love the size of these too. I think that this is perfect considering that I've got a whole lot of blush in my collection, so it's not like I needed a giant pan of it. The packaging is adorable. I love that it just kind of like twists on and off. I think that's really, really cute. It comes in like a whole handful of shades. You can definitely find a color that's perfect for you, and I definitely plan to pick up more because I love blush so much. I think blush is like one of my favorite things, and I can't have enough of it. Like I just want more and more blush like every day of my life. The item I've got is this brow gel. I've talked about this one before. As you can see, I like it so much the whole logo is rubbed off, and this is actually pretty much done. I've finished this brow gel. I have moved on to another brow gel, but for $1, I really, really like this one. The brush on it is super duper tiny. This one doesn't have fibers in it, I don't think. I have to double check on that, and I'll leave a note on the screen, but I don't see, I'm also blind, but I don't see any fibers in this, but it does have a really nice tint and a really nice hold. It's definitely that hold where, you know, your brows are not going to move anywhere, but it's also not crunchy or like gel-like, you know. Sometimes you put on a brow gel and you feel like your eyebrows are a little bit crunchy or like they've been gelled down with like hair gel or whatever, but this doesn't feel like that. It feels really, really nice. Your brows won't move, and it also adds like a little bit of tint, so if you're looking for something to tint your brows a little bit, or just like a one product type of deal, I totally love this and recommend it. I think it's great for the price. It also comes in a variety of colors. You could definitely find a shade just for you and for your brows, whatever. And that's all I've got for you guys today, so hopefully you enjoyed a couple of my favorite ShopMissA things. If you have anything that I didn't mention today that you really like from ShopMissA, like, please leave it in the comment down below, because I always purchase stuff from them when they have their like $1 shipping promotion, and that's when I like totally recommend purchasing it, because everything is $1, so when you only have to pay $1 for shipping, like, you just can't go wrong. I did get a question once about how they package things or ship things. I will say that their shipping is slow, very slow, but I mean, they probably get like mass quantity of orders because everything again is only $1, so you can't blame them for that. As far as when I receive my products, I have never received a broken item from them before. They package their things a lot better than e.l.f. does, and if you know what I'm talking about, like, I'm not trying to like shade e.l.f. because I love e.l.f. It's definitely one of my favorite brands. However, I've noticed in the past, like, you know, they'll just throw everything into a box without any like bubble wrap or like, you know, paper or anything, and you're just like, well, hope it arrives intact. With ShopMissA, everything comes bubble wrapped, everything comes like wrapped in like a cute little pink tissue paper. Their stuff does not get shipped in boxes. It comes in one of those like giant mail like plastic bags or whatever with like a label printed and posted on it, but it still comes in bubble wrap, so I still haven't received anything broken, so I guess that's a good thing, right? Right. So, yeah, if you like this video, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and spread my love for makeup, and I will see you guys in my next video. Okay, okay. Bye-bye.